It's Macedonian greatness! I'm really trying to make these livelier for you guys. I'm trying here. So today's discussion leads us to Alexander the Great. Was he really great? Was he a horrible human being? Let's find out using primary sources and the information we're going to learn today. I know, so exciting. I sound like a game show host. You guys can barely contain your excitement at home. So, let me remind you of a little bit of historical context prior to jumping right into Alexander the Great. There was this little thing called the Peloponnesian Wars. Maybe you guys remember it. Hopefully you do. Basically what happened is Greece is going to fight off the Persians. After they do that and are successful, they're going to decide that, hey, we should combine forces permanently, just in case anything happens like this again. Athens is going to be in charge of this basically this treasury where a lot of money is given from all the other city-states in kind of like a savings account in case anybody comes back, we can use this money for whatever. So Athens is in charge of keeping these funds, which Sparta does not trust nor feel comfortable with because Athens and Sparta are such opposites, they really don't like each other. So as a result, Sparta is going to challenge Athens, and we see the beginning of the Peloponnesian Wars, which is going to last quite a few years. It'll go back and forth. Athens will be hit by plagues a few times during the wars, and ultimately Sparta wins. But Sparta will use the majority of their income fighting the Athenians, which leaves both groups very weakened. So they'll be weakened, vulnerable to attack, which makes it a perfect setting for Philip of Macedon to swoop in and conquer Greece, coming from the north. So looking at this map here, Macedonia is neighbors to Greece. So they just came in from the north and started conquering. They're going to conquer the entire region, where independent city-states will now be unified by force. Remember, this is a video, so if I go too quickly, I feel like I should probably go back for a second. If I go too quickly, you guys totally have the option to pause, get what you need, and then move on. The note outline for this video specifically can be found in the week 17 folder. So, Philip II has a lot of respect for Greek culture. He is known for preserving it. He's going to love Greece so much that he actually has a Greek philosopher by the name of Aristotle tutor his son, Alex, or Alexander. He's going to encourage the flourishment of Greece, something that Alexander himself will also adopt and continue throughout his lifetime. Now, Philip is going to look to Persia to continue the expansion of his empire, which will appeal to Greece because, as I mentioned, prior to the Peloponnesian Wars, Greece fought against Persia in an attempt to maintain their freedoms. This will help Macedonia unify the Greeks, but unfortunately for Philip II, he will be unable to carry out this new plan of action in its conquest because Philip II will be killed by an assassin. Now, there's some speculation as to who wanted him dead, who murdered him. Historians go back and forth about this. The theory, a common theory, I should say, is that his wife actually is the one who hired the assassin to have her husband killed because she believed that her son, Alexander, was going to be this great king, emperor, whatever, who was going to reign for, lots and lots of years. And so rather than wait for her husband to die and then Alexander to take on the throne, she decided to expedite or speed up the process. Again, this is a theory. We don't know for sure. Now, like father, like son, Alexander the Great also had a great appreciation for Greece as well as a great appreciation for warfare and conquering. So Alexander will expand Macedonian's dominance. He'll start with his father's plans to take over Persia. At the age of 20, in 336, after the death of his father, he comes into power, defeating Persia quickly, destroying their capital city, Persepolis, and then further expanding his empire into Egypt, Anatolia, Afghanistan, and then he stops just short of entering India. Not because of a lack of desire, but a lack of support from his military, which we'll get into in a couple slides. So looking at this map here, you can see Alexander's conquest from 336 to 324 BCE, before Common Era. So we're talking prior to Common Era, modern age. Now, Alexander the Great is going to have this great conquest. He's going to have this enthusiasm that continues on and on. If you remember from classics last year, the issue that came up was Alexander basically ran his soldiers rugged. He did not give them time off. He did not let them go home. It was just constant conquest, keep moving, conquest, keep moving. And so he's going to cross the Indus River, trying to march on. His only concern is glory. When he reaches the Indus River at this point in time, not only does his best friend die, but he also loses his favorite horse. The horse dies, I believe, from wounds in battle. So he's going to lose two of the things that he loves the most that essentially like represent home away from home. So he's going to kind of spiral into this pit of despair, to use a Princess Bride reference, and the only motivation he's going to have is just for glory. He wants to be known forever for being the greatest conqueror. Unfortunately, as I mentioned before, he doesn't give his troops vacation time. They don't get to go home. It'll be years before they were able to go home, visit their family. Many of these men had wives and children. So the troops will actually refuse to continue the campaign. And they're going to say, look, we're done, we're going home. Alexander will never see Macedonia, his home, again. He does not make it home. He's going to die at the age of 33 in 323 BCE, and he dies in Babylon, which is in Mesopotamia. He dies from what we believe to be fever, wounds, and excessive drinking, which is a theory, again, unknown. He did drink quite heavily after the loss of his horse and his best friend. At this point in history, he will have the largest empire the world had ever seen. He's going to marry a Persian woman, but at the time of his death, he will have no heir, meaning his wife will not have given birth to a child, so no one for his legacy to be passed on to. He has 13 years of dominance, no heir to the throne, so what happens is his empire gets split amongst his generals. The generals are going to fight for control. So Antigonus is going to get control over Greece and Macedonia. You can see it here in the purple. Ptolemy is going to gain control of just Egypt and up into what would be like modern-day Jerusalem, Palestine, that area. And then Succulus is going to get Bactria and Anatolia. So he gets the largest amount of land. Now, because these three men cannot agree and have to split the empire amongst themselves, this is basically what leads to the end of Alexander's empire. They cannot agree. Yes, there's a very catchy song. It's Macedonia. It's to the sound of My Sharona. If you guys want, I'll post the YouTube link for you to watch later. Very catchy song, but you'll be singing it all day, I guarantee you. So Alexander the Great, to summarize his legacy, his passion was for glory only. Okay, he wanted to be known for the rest of history as the greatest conqueror ever. His legacy will become, though, the spread of Greek culture and ideas. This is a comp and pre-comp topic. Pre-comp topic for sure. I'm trying to remember. So please, please, please highlight, underline, circle, put stars, whatever you have to do. Alexander the Great is known for spreading and preserving Greek ideas and traditions. This is known as Hellenism. It's the adoption of Greek culture spreading throughout his new conquered territory. So again, this is a pre-comp comp topic. This is extremely important. I see a question every single year. Please highlight, circle, underline this slide or section on your notes as well. Hellenism. It is Greek culture, ideas, patterns of life of classical Greece that will be spread. Alexander the Great is known for Hellenism, spreading Greek culture and ideals. This is going to reach far beyond the borders of the Greek independent city-states because of Alexander the Great. Very, very important. So in these Hellenistic cities, so these are cities modeled after ancient Greece, but they're not literally in Greece. They're going to have Greek monuments, sculptures, theaters, markets, councils, assemblies. Alexander will create over 70 new cities. And this creation of Greek cities will continue, as will the continuation of their culture, ideas, language, religion, all that stuff. It gets spread throughout the empire. This is going to attract thousands of Greeks to leave their home country or city-state and move further west. No, east. Sorry, way wrong direction. Further east. I don't know what is with me today, guys. I apologize. Alexander the Great is going to name several of these new 70 cities after himself. So you'll have Alexandria all over, the world at that point in time. He's going to establish the new capital of Egypt in 331, several years before his death. In this new capital, known as Alexandria in Egypt, it will become the center of learning and culture. He's going to build museums and libraries that will preserve ancient Greek text. The polis rights are restricted to Greeks, though. So that means the city-state rights will only be restricted to Greeks. So only Greeks will have rights in that city. So here's the ruling class. It'll be basically a combination of Greeks and Macedonians. So the Greek language becomes the language of the government and of business. The Greek arrogance, condescension, and exploitation will run rampant, meaning people of Greek descent, Greek culture, that are going to move further east, I said it correctly this time, they're going to have this entitlement, this superior complex where they think, well, we're Greek, so we know what we're doing. The spread of culture will be far wider than it is deeper, meaning the culture will spread out over a large area of land, but it's not going to take roots in every place because of this arrogance, condescension, and exploitation. Trade will improve the most with Hellenism. There will be economic unity because of this Greek connection. It will also increase prosperity. There will be an Eastern focus as well. So the focus is no longer going to be in the West. It's more in the East, which leaves it open for... You can watch that on YouTube. Basically, anybody recognize this gentleman right here? Perhaps, perhaps not. We're going to talk about him next. He's from Rome. Hint, hint. So, our next topic of discussion will be ancient Rome, which will start hopefully later on this week. If you have any questions, feel free to message me in chat. Other than that, have a fantastic rest of your day, and I'll talk to you guys soon.